is changing. By 2040, minoritized groups in the US will become the majority. By 2050, Africa's population will be 2.5 billion, meaning 1 in 4 consumers will be African. Disabled people make up 1 in 4 people in the UK. And across Asia and Europe, working age populations are shifting. And with 5 generations in the workforce, there are different sets of values, ways of working, and beliefs. What does this all mean? It means embedding inclusive leadership, inclusive design, inclusive decision-making, and inclusion in the work is the mission. So we can better relate to an ever-changing world. I'm Frank Starling, VP and Chief DEI Officer of Lions. My pronouns are he, him. I'm a tall, brown-skinned man. I'm wearing a navy suit, burgundy shoes. I have a black afro and a gold Casio watch, which my sister gave me. I've got 2 words for you. Representation, if I can get that out, and relevance. Representation. Are we truly representative of the communities that we serve? Are we co-designing with the communities we serve? Teams that are representative drive better outcomes. 68% of consumers believe that ads need more racial representation. That's from Kantar. And cultures and communities are ever changing. In a hyper-connected world, they're becoming more nuanced and more insular. So we have to find ways to be part of those conversations and connections. Ethnographic research and community involvement and co-design are crucial. According to WARC's effectiveness rankings, campaigns with authentic community representation consistently outperform those without. What about relevance? Are we relevant to our customers and colleagues? Accenture released a report a few years back called the Getting to Equal Research Report. And what it spells out is 68% of leaders believe they're creating an empowering and inclusive culture to drive innovation and creativity. But only 36% of our colleagues actually agree with that. And that's stifling innovation, and it's stifling creativity. Closing that gap represents over a $1 trillion opportunity. And from Label Insight, 94% of consumers are likely to be loyal to brands that maintain complete transparency and relevance. So relevance is important to our customers, but also our colleagues. An example of representation and relevance is You Love Me by Translation New York for Beats by Dre. At a time where many brands remain silent, Beats aim to amplify the voices of Black youth, channeling the sounds of Black defiance that shape today's popular culture. In a moment when civil unrest and the sound of the BLM movement were at its peak. This was achieved by collaborating with an artist whose signature sound was built on channeling this sonic blackness. You Love Me unpacked a hypocrisy that exists across the world at large. Historically, brands and corporations have profited from Black cultures and can sometimes fail at showing the same love for the humans behind it. The short film aimed to speak directly to the root of this issue by begging the question, you love Black culture, but do you love me? The narrative was designed to speak from inside the Black community outwards, to ensure it resonated with the larger-than-life celebrity talent and also empower everyday viewers to feel heard in the message and be seen on screen. And there was a conclusion, a positive one. Beats went on to drive 20 million views. It had 99% more views than they expected. The video currently ranks as Beats' 5th most watched video on its channel. And it also boasts the 4th highest average view duration. These metrics show that the target audiences responded positively to that video. It was authentic, it was representative, and it was relevant. And it was really listening to the truths shared by them. So what are Lions doing? Well, our strategy is called ERA, and that stands for equity, representation, and accessibility, underpinned by inclusion. We want ERA to be at the heart of our organization, products, and festivals, underpinned by an inclusive society that one day, an inclusive industry that gives back more than it takes. We've launched or grown several initiatives, such as our ERA program. We launched that last year, and that's where we backed €1 million worth of complimentary passes to the Cannes Lions Festival. This year we brought it back for 2025. We doubled the allowance to €2 million with a focus on Global South. Initiatives like See It, Be It. And my team is on the front desk here today, who are part of that journey. See It, Be It has impacted over 1,000 women and non-binary people, and of the near 150 individuals that have been through the program, 63% of our alumni now sit at creative director or above, and 75% have been promoted. At the festival, fact check me on this, we have the most representative group of juries and speakers in the world. And in 2024, we had more than 500 jury members representing 78 markets, which is critical because they're judging work from 92 markets from across the globe. And last year, we donated €227,000 from the SDG Lions to UNICEF, helping to fund an organization that provides both critical and immediate humanitarian assistance to children worldwide, as well as supporting their long-term development and well-being. New this year, having worked with our Community Safeguarding Board, which includes Time 2, the Brixton Finishing School, Vinxep Magazine, Milk Honeybees, ITAV, DCM, Backlight, and the Empower Cafe, we're enhancing our safeguarding measures. We're introducing 24-hour safe zones at the festival. There'll be 3 of them, and they'll be occupied by trained professionals to ensure there's a respectful and inclusive experience for delegates and non-delegates alike, especially those who may need to report or require assistance if they have witnessed or experienced an incident of harassment or discrimination. Those professionals will be the first response to offer advice, signposting in line with our triage framework. Internally, we have a focus on things like psychological safety, creating a culture where everyone can contribute meaningfully, which has led to better innovation and creativity. And later this year, we're going to be launching our Lions Impact Report, so look out for that for a candid view of where we are so far. So, what can we all do? We've reached the critical moment in the history of DEI. For organizations that choose to leverage inclusive policies and inclusive leadership, there is a clear opportunity, because that is the future of our industry and the future of work. However, the dialogue and the differences behind inclusion will always be there. What has shifted is performative D&I measures, the window dressing, that's come to an end. If the work authentically represents the global communities we aim to serve, we can drive impact within those communities whilst delivering on our growth objectives to an ever-changing global consumer base. I'm going to speed up, thanks. Acronyms are great, actions are better. So whether you use DEI, DOI, JEDI, ERA, or inclusion, fostering impactful actions over high volume will yield results. Customers and employees expect inclusive leadership and cultural awareness. And by championing inclusion, we bring all customers, all of our colleagues along for the journey, and they will embrace loyalty, they'll be more engaged, and that will, of course, can of course drive community impact. So we're proud to continue our work in ERA, equity, representation, and accessibility, to break barriers for global communities and embed inclusion across our organization. And of course, we're proud to partner with Creative Equals for Rise. So to close out, I've got one quote and one call to action. The quote is from the late, great Bell Hooks. Solidarity is not the same as support. To experience solidarity, we must have a community of interest, shared beliefs and goals around which to unite, to build sisterhood. Support can be occasional. It can be given and just as easily withdrawn. Solidarity requires sustained, ongoing commitment. So, recommit to inclusion. It should underpin your processes, your business strategy. It's certainly our focus. It should underpin your leadership behaviors and your decisions within the work. And when we get it right, we embrace our global communities. We create the circumstances to foster creativity and creative effectiveness, which of course drives growth. Thank you all. I'm going to pass over to Rachel Ems, MD of FE Worldwide.